Harley Davidson has just done their 2023 model launch. Let's do a quick recap. So Harley just had their new event. This showed any of the bikes that weren't carryover models, which I featured in another video. I've made a list of things that I noticed and things that I thought were odd. Let's jump into them. So we finally have the anniversary bikes. Harley Davidson showed their new color, which is heirloom red, and here's the models that it comes in. The Fat Boy, the Heritage, the Ultra Limited, the Street Glide Special, the Road Glide Special, and the Tri-Glide. So I'm not surprised at all. These were all solid choices from Harley Davidson. These are all kind of staples in their lineup. This makes sense, so to me, no surprises on the anniversary bikes. I do like that heirloom red. I think that's a great color for the anniversary bikes. The badging looks good, so props to Harley for those. Up next, the Breakout is back, at least for the US market. So for those that don't know, it never left the European markets, but it is back for the US market now with a 117 and also a $21,000 MSRP, which in my opinion, with the 117 and for Harley Davidson, is really not a bad price. It comes in a few different color options, and this one is by far my favorite. Now I will say, this one surprised me. I guess sometimes rumors are true, right? So what we have here is the 2023 Road Glide 3. The name surprised me as well, but nonetheless, if you watched my last video, you'll know that I was sent an anonymous email talking about that this was going to happen. I was somewhat skeptical. For one, I don't know the source. They did want to remain anonymous, and I didn't try to dig and figure out who they were. But also, based on information that I had, it just didn't seem like it was going to happen. However, it did, and I think it was a solid move by Harley Davidson. The Freewheeler does not sell that well compared to the Tri-Glide. I think it needed something to kind of help boost it, and if you want the stripped-down Freewheeler, you still have that model. The one thing I did think was odd is they put the Road Glide fairing on it, but there is still no tour pack for the Freewheeler. And I just feel like if you're going to do touring on that bike, you're probably taking a passenger, and they would probably want something a little nicer like that tour pack, and it would be great to have that extra storage. I think because the way that the lid opens up, that's probably why Harley is yet to develop a tour pack for that one. Next, we have the Nightster. Now, it got just a little bit of a styling tweak, in my opinion, a much needed styling tweak. It looks a lot more like the Iron 1200 and 883 models, which I think is important for Harley since they have axed that part of the lineup to kind of give something that Harley riders think is a little more familiar for them. Now, that bike comes in at $13,500 and is currently the cheapest Harley Davidson in the 2023 model year. I say that because, you know, we always have a few bikes that come out mid-year, so as of right now, it is the cheapest in the lineup. They also announced the Nightster S, which I think looks significantly better than the regular Nightster model, and out of the three current Sportsters that you have to choose from, I think this one looks the best out of the three, but let me know down in the comments what you guys think. And now, things that I just found a little bit odd. So starting off with number one, there was only one CVO model shown, and that was the Road Glide Limited. Now don't get me wrong, I think this bike looks amazing. I really like the ghosted in eagle, and you see the wings that go down throughout the whole bike. I think it looks great. I would love to see this on the regular Road Glide, but I'm curious why they only unveiled one CVO model when we know for sure there will be at least 2 or 3 more. Also, I do want to point out that that CVO shows an MSRP of $52,000. So the CVOs are slowly creeping up higher and higher every year. Where it stops, I don't know. Now, this next one isn't something that I necessarily found odd, but I was disappointed. As of right now, there is no 975 Pan America. We know that it exists based on some information that leaked through the parts section of their website. However, it's not out yet. Maybe it's going to be one of those mid-year releases. Only time will tell. And speaking of disappointed, I was also personally expecting a more entry-level bike, if you will, and by entry level meaning more so price, not necessarily size, because the Nightster is a 975, which in my opinion is pretty small for these big heavy motorcycles, but I was really hoping we would get something a little closer to that $10,000 range to welcome new riders into the Harley Davidson lineup. That's not been the case so far. And last but not least, I'm not quite sure what to make of the fact that there were really no significant changes in any of their bikes this year. Now, I feel like they're probably rebuilding and working on things way down the road, so they're trying to make as much money as they can while spending the least amount possible and looking towards the future. I have no reason to believe this, but for some reason I feel like 2025 is going to be a big year for Harley. I'm personally hoping to see the Revolution Max engine make its way into touring bikes and Softails. I'm not sure if they'll do one or the other first, or if we'll get them both at the same time, but that's something I'm looking for. Again, I have no information that that's going to happen in 2025, and that may be a little early for something like that to happen, but that's what I'd like to see. Give me your thoughts on this, guys. What do you think about there's no significant changes? And what would you personally have liked to have seen Harley Davidson do this year? As well as what do you think is coming for the mid-year and the Icon bike? That's it for this one, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.